Hiya. Molly and I have come out today because it's absolutely gorgeous and the sun's shining and it's cold out of the sun, but as soon as you get in the sun it is absolutely staggeringly beautiful and it's warm, and we're out in the countryside and it's gorgeous. And I know it isn't spring coming, but have you noticed, because I've noticed, that in the morning now when you come out and you listen to the bird song, it's not just birds calling, it's actually birds singing. We're getting bird song, that kind of real musical sound rather than just a call, a warning call, a chirp. I notice it, it's blackbirds, a lot of blackbirds out, and it's beautiful, and they're just calling, and it just lifts your heart and makes hope that spring is on the way, and it will come, it's inevitable. So we just have to put up with the winter months, don't we? It's beautiful here. I've come up into the countryside near me, and we are midway between North Wales, I would say, and the Lake District. And I've just got into the car and I've noticed I can actually see, clear as day, Black Combe, the southernmost fell in the Lake District, and you can see the snow on top, and you can almost see the dry stone walls. It is so clear behind me, and the sun will be shining on it now, so you might not see it, but over there is Snowdonia, and you can see it crisp against the horizon. It's fabulous. It's just, and I'm looking now behind me at Winter Hill, our local hill, and you can see the contours, you can see the lines, you can see all the shadows. I don't think I've ever been out for many years when it has been this crisp and sharp and fabulous, and I'm just completely overwhelmed by it. It is just the most, wow, I'm looking now, I'm looking at the Peak District, and I can see the hills in the Peak District. I can see the Pigeon Tower on Rivington Pike. It is plains in the sky, there's not a cloud there, it's azure. There's a flock of starlings over the top of me now. Not so much a murmuration, more just a flock. And they're just there, and they're loving it, and it's, the world's waking up. I'm a happy bunny. Behind me over there, there's a flock of sheep, there's a load of sheep. And even though it's only about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun is getting lower in the sky because it's still only January. And have you ever seen that bit of video that's a bit weird where I think it's something like camels or something like that walking across the desert, because the sun's low in the sky, it casts long shadows, all very surreal, and that's what it looks like from here. There's a load of sheep, about 30-40 of them, and the sun's over there, so it's throwing a shadow this way, throwing long shadows. See, this is what you need to do when you're out and about. Don't just wander about with your eyes closed like a load of gobbins. Look at things like that. Oh God, I wish I brought me a proper camera out. That would make one stunning photograph. The sheep, then the rolling land over Lancashire, then the crisp lines of Snowdonia in the distance. Man, this is just so fabulous. There's a load of stones over in the field behind me, at the side of me over here. And we're not so far, we're only about a quarter of a mile from the Neolithic pike stones, Neolithic burial chamber. And they look very much like it, and I'm wondering whether they've got something to do with it. They may well have. Yeah, so I'm guessing they have. And that's what I'm going to live with. I don't care what you lot think. It's quite quiet, there's no birds about, but what you get, it's just like in summer, that you get the dawn chorus, and then they all kind of, hang on, this gate doesn't want to open. There's a gate there playing awkward buggers. Took me a while to get through it. Forgot what I was saying now. It doesn't matter. I'm walking and it's quiet, it's very quiet. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You can't really hear any bird song because the birds usually get up, have a bit of a tweet, then they go off and find places to feed. And I'm at the side of a stream here now and it's so quiet. And all I can hear is the sound of the water trickling along. I'm going to walk a bit further, but I'm going to have to put Molly on the lead now because I can see some sheep. There's sheep all over the road up here, so you have to be careful. Even though I know Molly wouldn't do anything. She's just not into anything like that. But obviously, there are certain rules and codes you have to follow if you don't want to be an idiot. We've been out for one good walk this morning. Molly being a little old lady, I don't want to walk too far, so we take our time now, because I'm a little old man as well. So we take our time, nice and slow. Going across some water again, Molly's on the lead. She doesn't mind being on the lead, she's one of them dogs, she's quite good like that. You can see farmhouses to my right, very, very clear. The fields are lush and green. Despite the fact that we are very early in the year. I can see a line of reservoirs, a lot of reservoirs around here, and you can see them in the line. Anglezark, Upper Rivington and Lower Rivington reservoirs. Sheep in the fields to our left. And dry stone walls, lots of dry stone walls. Now I was going to do a video on the history of dry stone walls. And I might still do that because they are very interesting. They've been around for such an incredible long time, thousands of years. Some of them are Neolithic. You can hardly make them out. It's easier to make them out from above, from a drone or a plane. But we've got lots here. And what we've got is dry stone walls. Hang on. You can probably see, you might be able to see them. But we've got dry stone walls, but we've also got buildings. So the dry stone walls there, and then the outlines of buildings. They're old farmhouses. I know something about these, but I mean, I can't remember now, but I do know that they are quite old. I mean, several hundred years old. And you can imagine what it was like here, because you would have got all the other dry stone walls. It would have been very much the same, I suppose, except you wouldn't have the odd building. And there's a wind farm there. But apart from that, it would have been just like it is here. No, bleak. Today it's beautiful, but many times of the year, it would have been very, very grim and harsh. I've only met a couple of people today. I met a couple who asked how to get down to one of the reservoirs, and then another chap walking his dog. I love this time of year when it's nice. I think it's because the air's, on a nice day, the air is clear. In summer, it can be muggy and a bit misty, but it's so clear today, you can almost see into the future. I'm looking over now towards the coast, the Fylde coast and Blackpool. I can see Blackpool Tower. I can even see the gas rigs out on the Irish Sea. We could walk down here and then go over there and walk back on another track, but I'm not sure whether Molly's little legs are up to it really. Or mine, for that matter. Hello. Sheepy sheep, 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 sheep. Hello. They're all very friendly. If you want to get rid of him, you should shout mint sauce. Mint sauce. A lot of history around here, but a lot of, like, you know, you get cities that have lots of history, and towns have lots of history, and industrial areas have lots of history in the factories and churches and cathedrals and all sorts of municipal buildings. But here there's also lots of history, but there's nothing. The history lies in the fact that there's nothing. So there's nothing with the occasional something that makes a history, because then you go back, the history is thousands of years old, when there was only probably one encampment in every 20 miles or something like that, one small village or settlement. And you come across it. This is why I always say to people, keep your eyes open when you're out. You never know what you're going to see. There's a sheep here about 10 feet away from us watching us. Molly's just watching it back. It's stamping its feet. Molly, come on. Molly was taking a bit of interest just standing and looking at it, but I think she probably thinks it's a dog. Because she's not very bright, my Molly isn't. Very beautiful, but not very bright. God, I'm loving this. Get out in the countryside. I keep saying this. People must be getting really peed off with me because I just keep making videos saying, get out in the countryside, get out in the countryside. But I mean, get out in the countryside. Nobody. It's quiet. I can't hear anything. Even the bloody sheep aren't making a noise. The sky's blue. And I can't get over how clear it is. I can see contours on buildings miles and miles away. I can see windows. Hey up, say hello to this fella. Hello? You alright? I know. She was a nice lady. Didn't have much to say for herself. God, I'm happy. I've got a note. I've got nothing. Don't own my own house anymore. All I've got is my dog, my car, and peace. Not even got my health. That would really bother me. One thing that does annoy me is that there's a lot of planted conifer woodland here, like squares or rectangles of conifers that were planted in the 70s when I was working in the forestry. And I remember planting a tree in 73. I was 19 and working for the Earl of Derby, planting conifers. Even then I thought, why aren't we planting indigenous, deciduous woodlands? Because these won't attract anything.